Brothers, welcome back to Territorial Replays, where we take a look at your guys' gameplay and see if there's any opportunities for improvement. Today we're looking at and Wee is right there in Louisiana-Texas border. I love this spot. He's far enough away from the coast that it's really not going to inhibit his growth. He could move up a little bit further, in fact, probably like right there would be optimal, but that's kind of nitpicking right there. The spot is fantastic. There's not a lot of players around him. That's hard to find in a 42-player free-for-all battle. Basically, the best spots you can kind of assume in geographical maps are the ones that people aren't going to necessarily roleplay. Alaska, I think, has kind of is done to death. There's always going to be players in Florida. I think this is a fantastic spot right here. So let's take a look at his expansion right here. He's doing pretty good. He's off to his infinite growth phase. Kind of. He's doing it a little bit slow. No, it works out. Okay. So we finish up there. Fantastic. We did a great job expanding. We have a lot of troops left, and now we can just kind of start hitting some bots. And he's going after a very slow amount of bots, which is okay because you can utilize the troops you have later. You have a lot of room to kind of do this. If you were in a little bit more competitive spot, aka more players around you, I don't know how effective this would be, but because he picked a spot well, he's able to slow down his expansion. And this kind of shows the power of not panicking and attacking every single bot that you can. You can just look at his troops. He's very, very strong. The only person that's even close to him in strength is Amir, who's definitely been slow as well in his expansion. So now it's just kind of about grabbing these last couple bots over here. And we missed out on Florida, but that honestly doesn't matter that much. These bots are a little bit more valuable. A lot of patience here. A lot of patience. So now we kind of look at our spot. We are in a competitive spot where we have a lot of neighbors. We have 5 neighbors, but you can see one of them's going down right away. I love the patience here. You don't need to jump on this right away, but this is kind of the moment where he's probably about as weak as he's going to be. So you could definitely attack him now and be better off than you were before, especially as Amir is signaling that he's going to attack. But more patience shown by Wee. We'll see if that one pays off. Because, yeah, there we go. I mean, he attacks him now, but the point he attacked him versus when he could have attacked him first was 50,000 troops. So he potentially could have gotten a little bit more land by attacking slightly earlier. Attacking small players like that is more about risk reward. So it works out in the end all the same. You still have a tremendous advantage of troops, and just kind of looking at targets, yeah, the Dagestan is an amazing target to push into. Lots of land, very little troops. Now, you don't have the most amazing borders on that, but obviously nothing can be helped there. Getting that land, though, does change your fortunes. You move up into 4th place. And a guy leaves. So that's an easy win for you. Definitely not something you have to attack right now. You can continue to keep saving up to your red interest of 2.6 million. A lot of these bots here, people, when a player leaves and becomes a bot, they'll be underlined. And players go ham on that. And because they think it's a free attack. So waiting and not being the first attack, I always value, because unless the bot is directly attacking you, other players are going to do a lot of the work for you. So you can afford to wait and let other players do that work, and then you can come and swoop in later. So nice little full send there for you. Not going to get a lot out of it, but your position continues to be strong. You have Gunnar over here is also a really good target. There you go. I was about to say you could attack, but waiting for the full send works out for you. Now, in terms of next targets, you're basically at your red interest, and I'm looking at neck, and I'd probably be attacking him like right now. Just kind of, oh wait, maybe wait, I would probably see this up here and wait for this to be completed, because I would want Hydra to join in and fighting this with me. Although these two fighting down here, interesting. You could pick a side. Hydra's gonna fall potentially. This is a good time to go into neck. You have 2 of your neighbors distracted. I would just immediately launch an attack in here. You're a million above. Good. So that's a good moment to fight a weaker player, is when your neighbors are a little bit distracted. You could take a risk without necessarily being punished for it. And there's a lot of great players to attack over here. We're 821 and John Pork as well. Both very good targets for you. Hydra serving as a nice distraction, because these two are not moving very fast on knocking down Hydra. I think they might have been thinking that you were going to join in, but just because a player is being attacked doesn't always make him the best target. So continuing to strike down neck is good. Taking a look at the rest of the board, we have these 2 guys fighting over here. Ooh, that is a nice distraction, slowing down both these players' ability to build up and consolidate, especially a player 37 who you know wants to go into Argatha. And there we go. We are done over here. And I would just immediately parlay this into an attack on player 821. Although you do have the crown. So in this moment, you could easily attack Amir and just solidify your borders a little bit more. But going into the weaker player does work as well. Amir attacks you. Unfortunately, full send right there. And a good boat by John Pork to secure the position. A little bit slow on recapturing that land. That might have been done on purpose. But that's, either way, it's fine. And the reason I say might have been done on purpose is worrying about getting the crown, but crown was pretty is a lot bigger than you. But Amir has attacked you, immediately attacking Amir. Good, we're at 60,000 pixels, so we're moving much faster. Now this is great. I love the position of this boats, and this is one of those rare times it's good to use boats. People overuse boats because they think it gains them more land because you're attacking them in a much smaller consolidated spot. The reason you use boats is for this reason. Is he's getting a better position because he knows Amir is going to full send him. And what, oh, never mind, it works out for him. But what this boating position does is if it does full send you, you're expanding the width of the border you have on a player. Therefore, it will speed up how fast a full send will take. If it's a much smaller border, the full send is going to take like 30 seconds versus if you have a wide border, it'll maybe take 5 seconds. But he full sends somebody else, and you claim a bunch of this land here, which is fantastic. John Pork immediately recognizes you as a threat and starts to attack you, but and so does Great Rabbit. But Hydra's attacking Great Rabbit. Now this is an interesting call right here. Is who do you want to attack? You can go into Great Rabbit, who's getting attacked by these two, but then it's a matter of do you have borders on the crown versus do you attack John Pork? In this situation, you have to go after Great Rabbit because the crown's involved. This land's going to go quickly. I would say this target just because it gets done so quickly. And there's a full send. You grab this land. Good. And now it becomes a battle of we have to fight the crown. Now this is an argument of who has to fight the crown. You have player 244 over here and Hydra and Argatha. If they all want to fight, think twice. You can sneak out and fight John Pork. However, if they're not willing to do it without you, you have to be involved. Excuse me. But to that degree, you are the second strongest. There's enough troops on the board to defeat Think Twice. If you can get everyone involved in fighting Think Twice, you can peel off yourself and go fight John Pork. And it looks like we're getting that message out right now that everyone's going to fight Think Twice. John Pork is not attacking you. Now, the biggest player you need buy-in for is player 244. If he's not willing to attack this guy, there's not going to be a lot of buy-in. You as the second strongest player on the board have to take responsibility to fight. This guy's involved now. We just need to see Hydra or Argatha involved, or weakening this guy up to the point where he's pretty close in troop strength to this. But ideally, you can peel off because you know that John Pork over here is hostile against you. You need to take him out. Now, unfortunately, Hydra goes against you. That is an interesting move there. He's probably banking on the fact that Argatha is still on the board, could help him fight Think Twice later. But right now, we're kind of in a bad situation. This is not one that you played poorly. It's just one that happens sometimes. Pork, for some reason, is just really aggressive towards you. The one I probably would spare is Hydra, just because he's a little bit of a wild card. He's directly in the middle. You don't know how long he's going to continue to keep fighting. I do like the move of fighting John Pork here, just because Think Twice might go into player 244 in this moment, and you can potentially get this guy to stop fighting you if you start fighting somebody else. Maybe a peace out over there, but we'll see how this one plays out. As now he's dropped to third place. Think Twice is still involved, but he's really got to focus on player 244. He's about to lose the crown himself. Yeah, I love the focus. Continuing focusing on one player, I think, is the best thing you could do in this situation. Hydra has stopped attacking you, which is good. He's got to kind of worry about himself here. And this is working out very well for you, as Think Twice is kind of pieced out with you. Not sure if you got an alliance there. Ooh, I don't know about this fight. I think you could continue to keep going into John Pork right now. That guy's going to be hostile to you. In fact, he's sending a boat right now into you. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is playing zoomed out enough to know that there's another boat coming down. And that boat had plenty of opportunity, if he was going to attack Think Twice, to land on you. I think that boat's going to you, and in fact it is. So we could block that boat. Hopefully we knock it off quickly. It's not very strong, but we don't want to give this guy a foothold to continue to keep attacking you because you're in a slightly vulnerable spot yourself. Good. We're going back into John Pork. That should be your... Oh, frick. Twice is really going in on you, just trying to eliminate somebody. That's what you get for attacking him. I don't know if you guys got an alliance or whatever, but I don't think that move was necessary going into him. I think you should have eliminated John Pork. And the second boat coming, we know exactly where it's going. It's going into you, so you can easily block it when the time comes. Obviously, you want to wait for boats to get a little bit closer to land before you attack it, just to make sure you don't have as many troops missing from your pool. But we let that boat land again. Again, we could easily have knocked that off. There's no reason to let this guy hang around. 5 million is not a lot, but 5 million when you have 9 million and in combination with your neighbors is very dangerous. So we're attacking 2 people here. This is kind of the biggest critique right now, is you don't need to be attacking Think Twice. You could easily get down this guy and then start fighting Think Twice. But now you've incurred his wrath. I bet if we could see alliances that you had a non-aggression pact with him, which is why he's full sitting you in this moment. So that is a pretty devastating play right there, as now you don't have access to the crown and you are the second strongest player on the board. So the crown can easily wrap up this game by just immediately attacking Argatha right now. You kind of have to bank on the fact that he's not going to get that done in time. And you're aggressively pushing through John Pork, which is good. I mean, you have to do that in this moment, because if you don't get borders on player 244 quickly, the game is over. Now, Hydra is very big, and this guy dropped. Ooh, I think we got lucky there. I think we got very lucky there. The full send against Twice should have been this guy's victory, but he dropped. So in this moment, you have to understand that your threat is not the crown. Your threat is the remaining players on the board. This guy will inefficiently attack his troops. It's kind of like playing a game of hot potato. You need to eliminate players as quickly as possible. Now, Argatha has shown a lot of hostility towards you, so it is kind of a toss-up of who you attack in this moment. I probably would have attacked Hydra, just because of what we talked about earlier with the strength of a full send being dispersed quickly. Hydra's full send wouldn't be as bad as Argatha's over here, although the land does go to the bot, so you could definitely argue that Argatha is not a bad one to attack. And now we start attacking Hydra. Good, good, good. Love the ability, or love the non-waiting there, the aggression, if you will, of attacking Hydra. And this is exactly what you should do, is ignore the computer and just attack Hydra. That's perfect. And we'll just kind of speed through the rest of this, because I imagine how this one's going to go is it's just going to come down to these 2 and who's going to win. But you're bigger than Hydra, so that means you win. Even though he has more troops than you, you'll be able to replenish the troops faster than he will, and he's not really counter-attacking you, which to his detriment. He's threatening to boom, but that doesn't matter, because even if he does, you still win based off the bot just being very weak. So he's desperately trying to outgrow this problem and grab bot. You just keep attacking him. And good. Now we have the crown by a good margin. Just keep attacking. Boom. And it doesn't matter how much land he gets, although at this moment you could definitely have grabbed Quebec away. And that's going to do it for this game, as it's very clear that you are just going to be able to encapsulate this one person. So a great game to you, sir. The only thing I would say is, when people are fighting the crown, look for a moment to peel away. You don't always have to be involved in that fight, especially if there's another target that you can get. But a well-played game. Let's go on to the next one. All right, our next game comes from High Probability. This is a 78-player teams battle. He is spawning right there. So in terms of spawning location, you got to be careful of these big bodies of water. You don't want to be too close to them, because it can really ruin your ability to grab land. So if I was in this spot wanting to be in this neck of the woods, I know there's a blue player right here. I'd probably be tempted to go more in this area or more out into this area and really challenge the blue player. But being right next to a body of water really does slow down your growth pattern. And really unfortunate that that guy left. Yeah, we go up there. I think that's a good move, is you got to kind of replace this, because you don't want these 2 players on the black team to get too much of a foothold. So a very responsible move in terms of team position. Now, in terms of your ability to grow, it does outlimit you. You're going to be a little bit more of a backline player here. Just because for you to be frontline, you have to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people fall. Or this guy, And if this guy falls, you're going to be in for a bad time. So you're really up against it. You have one player to help you up here. Your biggest priority needs to be going and fighting the black team. So getting that expansion out there. At this point, you're pretty cut off. So I would just continue this as much as possible. The bots, your position was good. The bots just kind of worked against you in this one. So it's tough to get very big, but we have a lot of patience here, just attacking a couple bots at a time. Definitely prioritize the blue bots in this situation, because the black bots you can come back to later. This bot you need to have attacked a while ago. And the reason I'm saying attack this bot first is, even though this bot's blocked off, he will eventually have access down here. This land's going to go to your team. Really need to prioritize choking off the black players as quickly as possible, just so that they don't have too much of an avenue to push out. And if hopefully your team is as smart as you and doesn't attack these two bots, you don't want to unleash this guy, so that hopefully you guys can grab, and then fight this guy together. Now, you do have borders down south, but I would not be concerned with that. You have this guy who's probably more likely going to be able to counter that, but ooh, that is bad. Okay, so you got to save in this moment. The reason I'm saying save in this moment is he's trying to grab land, but he gets border on Patty. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. Which is really bad, because you two could have 1-2 punched this guy and then knocked down this guy together. But because now he has borders with Patty, and Patty's obviously very big, this is going to be a 1v1. You have a 1v1. Both of you outnumbered. Now, in terms of the rest of the position of the team, what are we kind of really looking for? Consolidation. We have another player on the black team coming up here. He's going to grab a ton of land. We have Lead Pro, who's very weak. That is unfortunate. You two are going in on this guy right away. I don't know how much we needed to do this, but he actually went down incredibly quickly. I'm not sure if he overly attacked or if there was an opportunity we missed there. But we knocked down this guy. Now, this is a bit of a blunder here from you. Is you want as much help as possible clearing out this corner from player 659. So blocking off probability, you could have left a little avenue so that everyone could attack together. Three players attacking is much stronger than two. Not to mention, if a player's getting attacked by like 3 players, they're more likely to Fulson and get out of there, which is ideally what you want. Is you want that player out of the way as quick as possible. But blocking the way, grabbing that little bit of extra land, doesn't do you a lot of favors. And you know, let's this guy stay around for a little bit longer. Now, probability in this moment, you want to save up to your red interest, because yes, you do have somebody right here that is on your borders, but you want to be able to donate if possible, because you have hello on your border, or potentially on your border as well. So we might want to be looking to see how we can consolidate our borders down elsewhere and potentially be a frontline fighter here for hello. Now, in this moment, looking at the rest of the board, we have some strength down here. So we have Cheese, who has borders on hello, but that's not very strong. Swiss is also potentially in a strong spot. You would hopefully he would see that and be attacking that. But for you, I think this attack is a little bit premature. Who is this helping you? It is Trader's Fulson. So you guys have worked together well, but you got to be playing your own defense here. And understanding that more than likely this guy's going to fall, and you're going to have to fight down the crown. And you don't have as many troops as you could. This is going to be the priority here. Is when Manistan falls, you have player 659, yourself, and Cheese, who are going to be responsible for fighting down the crown. That's got to be an absolute must for you guys. So getting involved in this fight is not necessary, nor is it a good move, just because it wastes a little bit of your troops in this moment. And actually, you have another player over here who can fight the crown as well. But this is kind of the do or die moment. Is you have the crown attacking this guy. This should be a signal to probability. Oh, that guy left and became a bot. Very unfortunate. But also Cheese to start fighting this guy down, because collectively you have enough troops to do this. We should be peeling off to fight the crown in this moment. You have one player's buy-in. We need Cheese and yourself to also join in on that, because you do not want a crown on the enemy team in your back lines where you're weakest. You want to be able to push when you're strong and support your front lines. So, oh, that is a devastating full send over there for the red team. That was absolutely not necessary. If you're on the front lines, this is all about buying time over here. Now, what is Cheese doing? Please don't. He's fighting this guy. Okay. We've let this guy build up a lot. This is not good. He's at 6 million. Cheese is going after the easy target. This is an absolute no. You don't need to do that. Swiss can do this on his own. You need the troops over here now. You've let a small problem grow into a bigger problem, and this is going to continue to be a problem. So probability attacks. This is a good move, but should have been done when you had initially had borders with him. And Cheese also needs to be going over here. Going and grabbing free land is not always a good move. You need to look at it as a team perspective. What's the biggest threat to the teams right now? We have Hello, we have this guy. Those are the two biggest threats. Outside of that, we don't have a lot of threats. Oh, Lilith, but only because player 2 is pushing over here, which is a bad move. So when you look at a team's position, you have to understand a team can't push from every direction. It has to consolidate and push where it's strongest. So before you push backwards, you have to deal with the back lines. So this should be everyone's on the red team's position. If I'm player 2, I'm stopping this attack. I'm looking backwards to see if I can help. If I'm Citadel, I'm doing looking backwards to see if I can help. If I'm Swiss, I'm pushing backwards to knock down this guy, to knock down this guy. So now, unfortunately, we don't have that. People are pushing forwards, and this is a very much an easy game to lose because you don't know how quickly like the black team could consolidate over here and then push against you, and then you're fighting both teams at once. You really want to limit the options of the enemy team by knocking backwards, and you've lost one of your biggest players on the back lines by fighting down this guy. So a lot of wasted time over here. Probability is leading the charge, but leading the charge by himself is quite unfortunate. Now, hopefully Swiss joins in on this and immediately launches an attack over here to fight this. This is truly flabbergasting, to be honest with you. This is pretty poor team play from both Swiss and Cheese by not attacking this guy earlier. That you died on that one, but honestly, even though you could have potentially attacked earlier when you had a little bit more strength from the other player up here, that's a lot on Cheese for not helping you out. And he has to realize, as the biggest player touching this guy, it's his responsibility to launch attacks and to maximize his advantage. Now, they do both go on this guy, which is great, and make him drop as a bot. You could see how easy it was for him to drop. If all players had attacked him earlier, you could see his mental threshold was pretty low. He was ready to quit already. If we had the 3-player attack with probability, the guy up here and Cheese attacking, this guy probably would have already quit a long time ago, and we would have dealt with this threat probably a full minute ago. But now he's left. He's not as much of a threat. We can attack either forward or backwards, but at least one of you, Swiss and Cheese, needs to continue to keep attacking. How's the rest of our borders looking? We did get pushed back here. Looks like we did get borders on Lilith, which we called out as a mistake earlier. You gotta consistently watch who you're gonna get borders with. Now, fortunately for us, Lilith has left the game, and rightfully so. The game is at 70%. There's no real way that this can be a comeback here. So a good game by you, probability. The only thing I would just call out is recognizing when a threat is coming and who's responsible for that. But that burden can be shared by a number of your teammates as well. But a good game all the same. And that will do it for today's replay. If you guys enjoy these, hey, make sure to leave a like. And if you have a question or anything, put it in the comments down below. And if you have a replay, send it to the email address in the description down below for a replay. We'll check that out potentially on the next one. But for now, boys, I'll see you. Have a good one.